Okay, hey, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your evening to come hang out with us and hear us share our stories. I'm the thing I'm most excited about tonight is there are five of us sharing, and we are sharing completely different things and health wins that these products have helped us with. And we're in different walks of life, we're different ages. And I just think that's really, really cool. And it's a testament to these products and how they're getting to the root of what your body needs and helping you balance and heal from the inside out. It's not a quick fix, but it's worth the time and consistency. I promise you. And so thanks for being here. I'm Joanna Miller. I'm a mom of four. I'm a police wife, and I started Plexus 10 years ago this month. I was a mom of just one at the time, and I was just desperate to feel good again. That's what got me into just encouraged me to give this a try. I was skeptical because why wouldn't I be like, what made this different than anything else I had tried? I remember my husband told me, like, you can try this, but it's not going to work. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm going to try it. And so, what encouraged me to give it a go was a friend of mine. We had grown up together, and we were about the same age. And I knew she was very into like healthy, natural things and that she wouldn't put anything in her body that was bad for her. And so I was like, you know what, if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me. I saw a post that she made on Facebook, and I had heard of Plexus before her, but I had thought it was like a natural weight loss fad, and I didn't need to lose weight at the time. And like I was struggling with chronic fatigue, crazy mood swings, digestive issues. Like I just remember feeling at one point I was like, I feel sick and tired all the time. Um, and I knew that wasn't normal as like a 23-year-old. And I went to the doctor. He told me I was healthy. That was really frustrating because I knew healthy wasn't supposed to feel that way. And so when she posted about like she was starting it to help her yeast infections and to help her to gain weight because she needed to gain weight. She was like losing a pound a week, and she was under 100 pounds, which for her size and weight or her height, that was really bad. And so I thought that was super interesting because up until then, like I said, I thought it was like a natural weight loss fad. And so I started to learn about gut health and how it is really connected to like everything: gut health, blood sugar balance, and inflammation, which is what these products target. And so I ordered the triplex combo, which is our number one bestseller. Um, and that is what I got started with. And month one, I felt more energy. It wasn't like a burst of energy. It was just like oh, I'm not as exhausted. And then month two, my husband told me I was like a new person because my mood swings were so much better. And so that was really cool to hear because I think a lot of times too, like we get used to feeling bad. It kind of becomes like our new normal and we don't even always notice. And sometimes it takes other people like close to us to point it out, like, oh my goodness, like this is what I'm seeing. And so that was that for me. He was like, you're like a new person because your mood swings are so much better. And then month four is really when I started to see like it just started to feel really good. Like I was seeing my health turning around and I was just really consistent. Like I was giving my body that time it needed to get the junk out and so that I could start to feel better. And that's right around when I got pregnant with my second baby. And since then, I've had three Plexus pregnancies. I'm coming off of my fourth pregnancy, but my third Plexus pregnancy, and my new baby is 3 months old now. And I have, wait one sec. I have to do this really quick. Um, I love how it just supported me and baby through pregnancy and then postpartum for helping to balance out those hormones. It helps me to have a really good milk supply. I did not have that with my first when I did not have Plexus. And so I've been able to nurse my babies long term. And I'm excited to do that again with my fourth and last baby. And so it just really has helped me do mom life better. And when you feel better, you're so much better able to show up and pour into your family and those people you love the most. And so that's what I'm grateful for, is that it just helps me to be the mom and wife that I want to be for my family. And so I forgot to mention that we're giving away 5 things tonight, 5 giveaways. And so the way to enter into those giveaways is at the end of each of us sharing our stories, we're just going to ask a random question. answer in the chat. There's a chat box at the bottom of your screen. If you tap it, you'll see where it says chat, and then you can type in an answer. But then at the end, we'll announce who won what. We have, just like, we're giving away an Amazon gift card, toiletry bag, a really cute Pioneer Woman mug, a shaker bottle, and some shower steamers. And so it's gonna be really fun. And then at the end, we'll announce who won those. So make sure you stay on until then. And so that's basically, long story short, my story. And I'm gonna ask the question and then pass it off. But my question's simple, like, are you right-handed or left-handed? That's it. Let us know in the comments. I'm left-handed. And then I'm gonna pass it off to Vonda. Vonda and I would not have met without Plexus, because we met online, and that's just the power of social media and how it can connect and bring people together. And I'm just so thankful for that, because she's a dear friend, and she has an incredible story. So really excited for you to hear from her. Vonda, go for it.
Hi, can y'all hear me? Okay. All right. My name is Vonda, and I want to give you a little background on how my health got in the position it was, because just like all of you, you're young women, you feel healthy, or you don't feel bad very often. Well, I was that person, so I didn't realize the things I was doing to my body, what it would do down the road. And so about 10 years ago, I had a hysterectomy and a gallbladder surgery back to back. And my rheumatologist later, 3 or 4 years later, said, "You created a perfect storm in your body," because immediately within the next 3 to 4 years, I started living with fatigue, chronic pain, brain fog, on antibiotics 3 to 4 times a year. My blood work was starting to become alarming. And it's just one of those things where, it was just like, what in the world is going on? I was trying to work a job. I couldn't stand on my feet anymore because my feet hurt so bad. So move forward. I had a series of moves. I moved to take care of my mom while she was sick. And during that, I got even more rundown. And after she passed away, we moved again. And during COVID, just like everyone else, I'm sitting at home and thinking, "Oh Lord, if I get this stuff, I am not going to do well." And because I was sitting on the couch, I couldn't wash my dishes without getting super sore. By the way, I have fibromyalgia and osteoarthritis, which means I live in chronic pain. And so I just was desperate for some relief. And I was in a meeting just like this. I think it was a Facebook meeting, but at the same time, I watched the testimonies and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, this is what I need." And so honestly, I took the grocery money the next month. I'm telling you, we'll do anything to feel good. And I ordered my products, and I've never gone without them at all since then. I had a surgery last year and they made me stop for 5 days. I thought I was going to I was in panic mode because these products have helped me so much. So what they've done, I started with triplex, which is where most of us start, because in the gut is where we need for things to start working for us. And I didn't think it would, like, how can these three products make such a difference? But the great thing was I started the beginning of August. I In October I added ease and nerve, and by the end of that month, I was starting to get off the 5 medications that I was on during getting on the products and stuff. I started resting better. I had energy. My pain levels were going down so much, and I'm like, "Man, I don't need this Tylenol arthritis anymore. I don't this gabapentin, I'm done with it. I don't want it anymore." And over the process between October and January of the next year, the same year, well, you know what I mean. Within 5 months, I was off all my medications. Now, my doctor helped me get off them. He helped, some of these medications you don't just get off of. And so it just changed my life. and I've been on Plexus for 4.5 years. Total weight loss is around 90 pounds. I don't really pay attention to it much anymore. My blood work is normal, has been for the last 3 years. For a couple of years, I dealt with the fatty liver elevations, a little bit of cholesterol, but since then, my all normal blood work. I need to lose more weight. COVID kind of, when I had it in 2022, it kind of slowed everything down. This year, I added Restore, which is another amazing product, and it started my weight loss again. So I just want to, you to know that it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter, your weight or anything else. Gut health, once you start it over time, it's going to just get better and better. And that's how it's been with me. I manage my pain. It's a disease I can't get rid of, but I can manage my pain. I feel like I've probably slowed down the progression of my diseases. And I just recommend give it a try and definitely give it time, because time is your best friend with these products. I'll never regret doing it. So if you ever have any fibro questions or arthritis questions, feel free to reach out to me, because I will gladly encourage you to keep going. All right. Oh, and by the way, I'm done now. And my question is, I'm trying to think. I said, oh, do you open your gifts on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? And that is all. Thank you.
Lexi, I think you're up next. Is that right?
All right, sorry. I thought I was trying to get me unmuted. Hi, I'm Lexi. Okay. Actually, I think Melody was supposed to be up next, but it's totally up to you. You let Melody go. I'll jump in
you're
after.
right. Yes, you're right. Melody, go for it. Sorry.
No worries. I actually thought I was after her, so I don't know.
Okay, really quick though. So you all, Melody, this is her first time sharing her story. I'm so proud of her. And she said she was a little nervous. I was like, do not be nervous. You got this. But give her some love in the comments. She's gonna do an awesome job, and I'm really excited for you to hear from her. Go for it, girl.
Thank you, Joanna. So my name's Melody. I'm a mom of 5, 2 grown and out of the house at this point, but that's besides the point. 3 littles here at home. 2 are special needs as far as just behaviors. So it gets, I'm exhausted from that. I adopted them through foster care. So just trying to struggle, with that mom life. And then I have a medically complex daughter. So as Joanna knows, we were just in the hospital last week. So a couple years ago, I met Joanna when she lived here in Payson, and I had gone to her through a different friend who had told me about Plexus, and she really encouraged me to give it a shot, because I was, same thing, the fatigue, the bloating. I had had a partial hysterectomy and gained, like 50 pounds after it. And I was really depressed and just going through a lot in my life. And so back then I had given it a shot, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I had the energy again. I was feeling much less bloated. Like I could just tell, put on a ring and it was too big. And I was like, well, that's crazy. So I really started to feel those benefits. And then a couple of years ago, I was having a lot of GI issues that were sending me into the hospital, and I was just miserable. It was like once a month I was curled up in fetal position pain, just from, my guts not being happy. And so much of that came from my stress and my depression and just trying to get through life. So I had remembered how good Plexus had made me feel before, and I was struggling a little bit. So I reached out to Joanna again and had gotten started. I don't even know really how long ago it was, but I had a backup supply. So I started it again. And since then I'm down, almost 40 pounds. I have not had that pain. I haven't had the inflammation. Even my husband the other day was like, you're just happy and you're healthy. And he's like, your skin looks great. I have a lot more patience with my kids right now, which is bizarre. I haven't had the stomach pains in like several months, you know. So it's really just helped me to get through everyday life and be able to care for my family. And I've, you know, I got my mom started on it. She had already told me she did the reset. She was like, I felt so amazing after, you know, I did the reset and has started. And I know she's feeling good. She's on this chat somewhere. Another friend of mine over here had similar issues to me, and she's doing great. She's seeing the benefits of it now. So she's reaching out to people just to kind of encourage them that, you know, we can do this. And, you know, I kind of had to stay on her because she was trying not to be consistent with it. But now that she is, she's just doing amazing. And she's helping raise her grandson, and she's starting to get back to her normal self. She's sleeping better. And that was a big thing for me too. I don't sleep very well. I'm one of those that I hear, you know, pin drop and I'm wide awake, but now I'm definitely finding that I'm out like a light. And my husband said that too. He's like, you're not tossing and turning anymore. You're not, you know, sitting up in the middle of the night. Like, why can't I go back to sleep? And, you know, so it's made me a happier, healthy person. I'm enjoying not having that pain anymore. It's been a miracle, because it's something like Joanna had said earlier, you get used to just living like that and feeling unhealthy, and you realize that you don't have to feel that way. And it's just been an amazing journey for me, and be able to encourage other people and tell our stories and listen to other people's stories. And it's, yeah, I swear by this product like no other, you know. And you get some of those people that are like, oh, it's just a gimmick. It's like, no, this really works. Like, it does the job. It does exactly what it says it's supposed to do. So, and I haven't had to take any other supplements to help with any of that pain. I'm not, you know, chewing ibuprofen like candy anymore. And so, yeah, that's where my story's at. So.
Love that. Oh, it's so exciting. So you did amazing sharing your story. So way to go. Super proud of you. And then do you have a question for people to enter your giveaway?
Yeah, I was going to ask if your families partake in the whole elf on the shelf bit. That little elf can be sneaky.
Love that. No, I posted in my stories earlier. There was like my 5-year-old asked, it was like a meme. My 5-year-old actually didn't ask this, but it was just like a funny, like, why don't we do elf on the shelf? And like, because we have our locks are better.
Oh, right. A lot
But
less stressful without the elf, for sure.
one less thing. Yeah, but I think it's such a fun thing too. So,
yeah.
All right, Lexi, you're up, girl.
All right. Now, once again, I'm Lexi. I actually started these products almost 5 years ago. They have been such a game changer for me. Sorry, I'm sitting in the same car as my sister, and so if there's echoing, it's because her phone's going too. But anyway, so in 2014, I had my first child, and I was diagnosed probably about 5 months later with hypothyroidism. I felt awful. I was like, honestly, like near passing out. Like, I thought I had diabetes, actually, is what I actually went to the doctors for and asked them to test me for, because I thought I was like getting low blood sugars all of a sudden. And I was a stay-at-home mom of a newborn baby, and I did not want to be passing out while my husband was at work and stuff due to like blood sugars. Well, they tested me for it all, and obviously didn't have diabetes, but my thyroid was off the charts, like off the charts. And so, of course, what do? They throw you on medication and tell you that you'll be on it the rest of your life, and that this is just your new normal. And so I dealt with it, and I felt sick and tired all the time for years. And in 2019, I was just really fed up with it. And I started really trying to seek out answers, because no matter how many times I'd go to the doctor, my blood work would come back on medication and it'd be within range, or they would modify the dosage because it's just slightly off and things like that. And I just felt so like insane. Like all my symptoms made me feel like I was not normal, but the doctors are telling me I am normal and it's healthy and all this stuff. And in 2019, my mother is diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer. And during this time frame, I decided to really start going into like the gut health dive, and I started researching gut health and what it was connected to. And lo and behold, thyroid was one. And I was like, well, that's interesting. And I remember in early 2020, I was standing in my bathroom. I had lost over half my hair, thanks to my thyroid and stress from my mom's diagnosis. And I was crying with a clump of hair in my hand to my husband. And I said, something's got to give. Like, I got to get, like, something has to give on this. Like, I'm going to be bald. I don't want to be bald. I'm in my 20s. This is not what I want. And so I had posted on Facebook, and Joanna had reached out to me, and I said, I really need to give this a shot. So I gave it a shot, and within 2 weeks, my hair stopped falling out. And I was like, I was so thrilled over that alone. And it was like, okay, this is going great. And what I didn't realize that it would help with is I was living with migraines. I was parenting off the couch half the time. I had a migraine at least once a week, that lasts 1 to 2 days. And I was just, when I say I was a hot mess, I was a hot mess during that time frame. And I was just filled with inflammation. I had become a caretaker for my mother and my grandmother because my grandmother had dementia / she had shattered her femur at the time. And so she was like no weight bearing, and my mom's cancer was not where she could take care of her anymore. And so it was a lot of stress on my body. And it just really took a huge toll on my health. And so I went through the whole traumatic 8 months of my life where I lost so many people in my life. I lost my mother, my grandmother, and uncle. My father-in-law went to prison. I mean, it was like a whole mess all within an 8-month time frame. And during that 8 months, I actually came off of Plexus, y'all. I made the worst decision ever and said, I just was not in a place mentally where I thought I could handle taking care of me when I was pouring into everyone else. And it was the worst 8 months of my life. Quite literally. But I during this time frame, my daughter, who was 4 at the time, stopped eating and was in the children's hospitals for 5 months, in and out of it, during that 5-month time frame. And I was laying in the hospital bed with her, and I got to thinking I just lost my mom like 3 months prior to this. And I was laying there thinking that I don't want my kids to go through this ever with what I had to walk through. And just watching my mother die from a disease that is all about gut health in general, was really something I didn't want my kids to ever have to do. I knew I was very unhealthy at the moment, and my life had just really my health was just horrible. And so I texted my husband while I was laying in the hospital with her, and I said, I need to make this work. And we were a 1-income family, law enforcement family nonetheless. And so I was like, I'm going to have to figure out how to make this work because I need these products. And since then, I have been consistent, and I have come off of 6 prescription medications. I no longer deal with migraines. And over the course of the last 4 years, I've had maybe 6 tension migraines total. And I have come off of, like I said, the 6 prescriptions, and which one of them including my thyroid medication. And my thyroid doctor is mind blown because I moved in the mix of this, and my new one was like, well, whoever told you had Hashimoto's and all this stuff? And I was like, I can give you all the paperwork and stuff. And she is completely mind blown to the point where they're just monitoring my blood work and ultrasounds every 5 years just to monitor my thyroid for the next couple go arounds. But I just had my appointment a couple months ago, and my thyroid is normal size, pretty much, just slightly larger than what they consider normal. But she said she wouldn't even know that was like a bigger thyroid if she were to look at the fact of the health of my thyroid. She says it's a picture perfect thyroid in the health. And my numbers are just consistently going downward. I've not been on a thyroid medication for a little over a year now. And it's just steadily dropping back down into that normal, like completely normal range. And it's just been super exciting over that, obviously. My hair has stopped falling out. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I touch it all. But yeah, that's basically my little testimony in a very short time frame. But the thing about it is I feel better in my 30s than I ever did in my 20s, and I didn't know that was possible. So there's that. And I highly encourage you to, if you have any health issues happening, to Google gut health and that health issue, because that is something that blew my mind, with the fact that every bit of any health concern I've ever Googled is tied back to gut health. And so I highly recommend just doing that research and doing the research for yourself and for your health. And I'm going to go ahead and give my question for my giveaway. And it is, do you have pets? And if so, how many? Because I have 3 dogs in my house. So just curious. Oh, and then my sister Jordan will be going next.
Okay. I'm her sister, Jordan, and well, I guess I started out hearing about her having plexus for years, and she just always kept telling me I had eczema, which really, after I moved here to Missouri within the last 2 years, like flared up really, really badly to where my hands were like cracked and bleeding and just super inflamed constantly, and like just like in so much pain that I could hardly do anything with my hands. And then I also was just like struggling with depression and just like feeling like utter crap like most of the time, and just like no energy. And so I finally decided to listen to Lexi after like years of her telling me that I needed to get on Plexus because eczema is related to gut health. And then I really was just like struggling mentally. So I was like, okay, I did it more so for like the mental aspect at this point than anything. And so I started, and within the first month I started with Triplex and X Factor Plus and Vital Biome. And so that was like kind of what I started with. And within the first month, so much inflammation in my body had just like gone, and I could just like tell a difference in my face. I had a lot more energy and just didn't feel as bad. And my eczema started to like really start to heal up. And I'll say I have not been one that has been great with being consistent with it. Like I do a lot of traveling and I just forget to take it, or like just late nights and I get tired and don't want to. I usually take it at night, make my pink drink and take all my pills at once usually, because that's the easiest for me. And so like I've noticed that in those times I'm not consistent with Plexus, my eczema breaks back out really badly. Like within the last week, I just was like, I actually ran out and hadn't ordered any or gotten my order yet. And so like I hadn't taken it for like a week. And my like fingers had started like cracking again, and it's just like bleeding and being really inflamed. And it's just like, one, it's embarrassing, one, it's painful, and it just sucks all around. And since I've been back on it, just a couple of days since I started back on it, like it's already started to go down. But yeah, I think that's mostly it. Oh, I really just I swear by it now. And I, like anybody I talk to about my eczema, I talk about Plexus, because it truly has changed the game for me, and just like the way that I feel. And yeah, I mean, it's an investment in your health. And I tell people all the time, like, I'm broke, and if I can pay for it being like broke, like you can pay for it. Because it really, that's the biggest thing I always am like afraid, is like the cost of it. But your health is an investment, and you're going to pay for it one way or another, whether it's with fixing your gut health and fixing your health at the root of the cause, or with medications. So yeah, and I just would rather start with my gut health and do it the natural way. So that's my whole spiel. My question would be, I chat GPT'd it because I couldn't think of something. It could instantly become an skill or field, what would it be? So like mine, I think, would be photography, just because that's like my dream. I love it. I'm decent at it, but like I would love to just be like an expert at it.
I love
So
that,
that's
Jordan.
it.
Jordan, it's so good sharing your story for the first time. Oh, her question was, if you could be an expert in any field, what would it be? Was that it? Because it did kind of break in there. Yes. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. If you could be an expert like instantly in any field, what would it be?
Love that. And so good. It makes me so happy for you. And you did awesome. So way to go. Okay, you guys, that's the stories. You heard all kinds of different things, but we're all taking the same products. If you have any questions, please just get with your friend who invited you to this, and they're going to help answer all the things. And something we're really passionate about is helping people get their products paid for, because like Jordan was saying, like, you know, well, she said, I'm broke, but I can afford it anyway. But like, that's all of us, right? Like it's just one extra thing in our budget. And sometimes it's hard to like do that for ourselves. And so for me, like I got my products paid for, getting my mom and some friends to do it with me. Because I didn't want that extra strain on our budget. And so if that is something that you're like, oh, okay, tell me more, like just tell your friend and they'll tell you more. Because you don't even have to pay for products every month if you don't want to. And we can help you do that. But thank you so much for taking the time to be on. We're so pumped for you to try these and see how they change your health. I'm going to stop the record button and then we'll do the giveaways.